In this module, we're going to go large. So we're jumping into the development strategy, which is all for new builds. Now, when it comes to new builds, there's a couple of big advantages for new builds. Firstly, what you're doing is you're going ground upwards. So you can create a nice margin there. Another way that this works really well is if you're looking to create your pension, well, great way. Why buy 5 different properties when you can create one property in itself, which you've got a built-in discount? Because in effect, that's what a new build can be for you. So whether you're trading, buying and selling, or whether you're going to be buying and holding that property, new build strategy can work for you really well. Things to be aware of when you're dealing with new builds. First of all, really important that you calculate the margins right at the beginning. When it comes to lenders, they will look for a 15 to 20% margin. That's really important. And I would suggest that you also have a plan A, B, and C when it comes to a new build. What happens if you're not able to build what you want to be building? Can you wipe the slate clean? Are you willing to take risk on this? Because remember, it really also depends on your risk factor as well. So are you willing to take a calculated risk where, let's say you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve, and you might need to sell that property fire sale value, so at a reduction, but then you move on to the next project. But when you get it right, the margins can be massive. So in the types of developments that we've done, we make margins of 20, 30, 40, 50% plus. So new builds are for you if you really want to accelerate and you want to go large. If you've got some experience already, then it's a great way for your next level strategy. By the way, keep in mind, it doesn't matter where you are. It's really important that as long as you have the information, you can jump into anything. As long as you've got people around you who know what they're doing, you can jump into anything. So I'm not going to be that person who says to you, you have to go through this step by step. If you want to jump into this, you can. Just be aware that you need that team around you, just to be crystal clear. Hope you're enjoying these insights. Now, I'd love to hear your comments as well. You can click on that bell icon, get the latest notifications. Even I've worked out where that one is. And you can also subscribe to the channel. I'm doing a number of videos like this, informative, to help you to move forward in your property journey. Now, one of the things that you want to be aware of with new builds is where you are in the economy right now. So in a rising market, new builds become very fashionable, they work really well, and of course the market helps the new build being created. When you're in a downward market, keep in mind that your GDV, your end value, might not be what you expect it to be by the time you finish the project. So please make sure you come back to that plan A, B, and C. Now, why would you want to jump into new builds? Well, typically 1 to 2 projects can create and bankroll the rest of your development journey with just one project's profit. That's the big advantage of new builds. New builds also work really well alongside conversions. So you could have 2 parts to your property project. You've got one element where it's a conversion, and you've got another part of the element which is a new build. Now, this is one of my most favorite ones because with that, you've got a longer runway. You've got more time where you can relax and work on that as you work with the conversion. So you make your money on the conversion and the new build becomes your pure profit. So if you can think of it like this as well, that's another way of doing this. Keep in mind that there are different types of projects that you can select. So you can go through the whole planning process and the building control process and actually build your new build. You can also keep in mind, you can buy new builds where the planning is already there. Now, if you're doing this, it's really important that you also check on the building regulations. Now, I'll explain. So when it comes to planning, it's what you want to build. When it comes to building regulations, it's how you're going to build it. Now, sometimes planning has been approved, however, building regulations won't allow you to build what you want to build. For example, there might be height restrictions. For example, there might be a scenario where you need to put in insulation, which reduces the size of the rooms. So there could be various anomalies, just to give you a couple there. So please keep this in mind. Now, if you can find a project where you've got the planning and you've got the building control element also resolved, well then that becomes an easier build for you. Now, conversely, you can also find a site, you can gain planning on it, and you don't need to build it. You can sell it on with the planning. That's another strategy. So as you're noticing, each of these strategies have their own nuances and micro strategies within that strategy as well. Think of what you want to do and make it bespoke to you. I really hope these strategies are giving you insights in terms of what you can actually be doing. So in this module about new builds, we've discussed the different types of new builds that you can have. We've discussed margins, we've discussed plan A, B, and C, we've discussed how you can de-risk, we've also discussed how you can go large, and we've discussed how you can jump into this if this is your entry level that you are looking for.